What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. So, on Monday, something happened that I thought it was worth reporting on. Before I do this, I just want a disclaimer. I don't like partisan politics. I know you guys went through an election. I know some of you are divided. Just remember, you have to keep living with each other. And I think that trying to find common ground and trying to get along is probably the best and smartest way to tackle this. Even though many of you I know are disappointed or overly happy for the election process, President Trump is going to take office in January, and he already started talking about his cabinet. We have four different people who are either already chosen to be in the cabinet or are really strong contenders. So let's start with Marco Rubio. He's a senator right now, but he could be the next Secretary of State for the President, Donald Trump. And this is what he said last year on News Nation about the UFO topic. Here it is.
We'll say there are people that have come forward to share information with our committee over the last couple of years. I would imagine some of them are potentially some of the same people that perhaps he's referring to. I want to be very protective of these people. A lot of these people came to us even before these protections were in the law for whistleblowers to come forward.
Sorry, people who have had firsthand knowledge, who claim to have firsthand knowledge of seeing this type of thing?
Or have firsthand knowledge or firsthand claims of certain things. Some are public figures, and you've heard from them in the past. Others, have not shared publicly. And so we're trying to gather as much of that information as we can. And the reason why I'm being cautious, I'm not trying to be evasive, but I am trying to be protective of these people. Some of these people still work in the government. And frankly, a lot of them are very fearful of their jobs, fearful of their clearances, fearful of their career. And some, frankly, are fearful of harm coming to them.
So that category of people who have firsthand knowledge, who say they have actually seen these kinds of things, do you find many of them credible?
Well, I don't find them either not credible or credible because we have no basis. Understand some of these claims are things that are beyond sort of the realm of what any of us has ever dealt with. What I think we owe them is just a mature, understand, listening and trying to put all these pieces together and just sort of intake the information without any prejudgment or jumping to any conclusions in one direction or another. I will say I find most of these people at some point, or maybe even currently, have held very high clearances and high positions within our government. So you do ask yourself, like, what incentive would so many people with that kind of qualification, these are serious people, have to come forward and make something up?
Yeah, so that's one who's going to be in Trump's cabinet, according to reports, and could potentially help out with disclosure on a more direct role. The next name is Mike Waltz, who also apparently has been chosen to be the National Security Advisor. This is what he said recently for the Florida Voice News Network. Here it is.
To UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call it. I think we need to take this incredibly seriously.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for a briefing and sit down of what this whistleblower is alleging. But basically, to boil it down, is Congress directed the Pentagon to put together an interagency task force across the intelligence community to look at all of these anomalies, these strange objects that are doing things that we can't explain, that are defying physics. And this individual is saying that through that process, he found compartmented programs that weren't being considered by the congressionally mandated task force, that weren't being briefed to Congress in a manner that's appropriate with oversight. And when he brought that to his superiors in the Pentagon, he was retaliated against.
Correct.
Take a step back. I think why Americans are seeing so many, feel like this is really new and they're seeing so much reporting of these sites is because we now have such a proliferation around the world of satellites, of radars, of sensors, of cameras that, 20, 30 years ago, it was, Joe Bob in his pickup truck takes a grainy photo of something he sees in the sky. Now we have radar imagery, thermals, different types of infrared sensors. You can't deny this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is real hard data that is showing objects that are doing things that can't be explained. And it's that data that we've demanded the intelligence community and the Pentagon analyze and come back to Congress to explain, and through us to the American people.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, in terms of national security, there's also been, like a reported established or a connection between these objects and sites with nuclear weapon sites, nuclear submarines, and
Yeah.
ships. So do you think this is like do you think this is like a national security issue? We can't we just don't know what these things are. So
Yeah,
do
no,
you
it
think Congress
absolutely.
needs to take it more seriously? I mean,
Well, what we have been assured is it's not our systems. So that means that it's either our adversaries have things that with capabilities that we weren't aware of and that we can't explain, or it's otherworldly. Either way, I want to know, and the American people deserve to know what the hell it is.
yeah. So actually, I heard Chairman Comer, James Comer, for oversight, talking about how Representative Luna, who's one of your colleagues in Florida, and Congressman Burchett, who are going to be taking the lead on this on the oversight committee. Is there anything that you're going to be doing regarding UAP? I guess investigatory, like exploratory stuff on the armed services.
Well, I sit on armed services. I actually have
intelligence.
oversight, and I'm chairman of the subcommittee on readiness that has oversight of all of our ranges and our bases, where many of these things have seemed to have been gravitating towards. Now, again, that's unclear. Do we have more sensors and cameras and things looking around those areas, and therefore we're just picking up more of it? And then also on the intelligence committee. And so if there's classified compartmented programs that aren't being appropriately briefed from an oversight standpoint, then that's something we'll push to get to the bottom of.
Waltz was talking about David Grush's claims, and as you can see, he's a supporter of Grush. So that's number 2 on a list of cabinet members for the Trump administration who are UAP friendly. Number 3 is Kash Patel, and according to reports, he is the front runner to become the next CIA director, which is one of the most contested positions. We know that the agency has been, if not spreading misinformation about the topic, certainly trying to cover it up in many ways. And in my view, they're one of the agencies or organisms that are against disclosure because they keep talking against Grush and against other people. So, and also Patel is reportedly going to talk about releasing the JFK files, and that may include the UFO files. So let's see what happens. That's number 3, who is UAP friendly. He has another video where he says this.
Can you tell if President Trump wins again, if he'll finally just tell us the truth? Are aliens real?
I might have to keep that one in my.
Seriously, we keep thinking either we are covering for technology, or it's just a psych op on the American people to get them to talk about something else.
Let me tell you what I can say. I can tell you that it's like our most valuable assets are not on the ground. Our most valuable assets from a national defense standpoint are underwater and in space.
Underwater.
Yeah. And it's easier to talk about space aliens than it is to talk about Nellie, the Loch Ness Monster. So I think that's why it's so catchy right now.
Number 4 is going to be Dr. Michael Salla, is one of the most seasoned UFO researchers ever. He just released the following tweet. I'm going to read it to you. I've been nominated to be an advisor to the incoming Trump administration on innovative technology. The public can vote on nominations, If I was accepted as an advisor to the Trump administration on technology, I would inform them of what I have learned about exotic propulsion systems, secret space programs, extraterrestrials, and ancient technologies, etc., through my exopolitics research, interviews with hundreds of whistleblowers, insiders, contactees, leaked Majestic 12 documents, etc. And he left a link where you can vote for him. So if you want to have someone like well known within the UFO community to advise Trump, this is your chance. I'm going to leave the link in the description. But that's number 4. And that just happened on Monday. So things are starting to move forward, it seems. But I want to know from you guys, do you think Trump might be the disclosure president, or do you think nothing will happen with him in office? The movements that happened yesterday are indicative that this may be moving in that direction, but we still have to see if it actually happens, because a lot of people don't trust Trump, and I get it. But again, I'm not talking about partisan politics. I would like it if you guys can keep it respectful in the comments. We can disagree on anything, but we have to get along, guys. So please be respectful. But I do want your comments. What do you think about these new appointees? What do you think about potentially President Trump becoming the disclosure president? I know many of you don't even like that. Some of you maybe even had a weird negative reaction to what I just said. I get it. But we would want to remain pragmatic and objective to all of this and see the actions instead of the words, you know? That's the way I'm trying to approach this. I'm trying to remain positive too, because that's the only way that we can actually get some change, by not being so divided. That's something that that's a drum I will keep banging until my hands bleed. So there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you would like for this to be true. What do you think about each appointee? I know you have also your opinions about each one of them. Let me know. Be respectful. Let me know. If you like the content you see, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can also hit the bell notification so you can get notified when a new video drops. If you want to support the channel in any other way, there are a bunch of links in the description. Take your pick. Thank you for your support, everyone. And without further ado, I'll see you guys until the next video. Bye.